All right, guys, it's 9 o'clock. It's Monday. It's November the 5th. We're super excited that you are here tonight for the Team Exalt Coaching Zoom. My name is Danielle Doucette. My husband, Jeff, and I, we are Executive Directors 3 here at Melaleuca. We were actually enrolled by Mr. Clinton Keller, who's going to be the star of the show a little bit later. But what I want to share with you guys first, I want to talk a little bit about this month's promo. And so I'm just going to share my screen really quick. And I am actually going to pull up the promo for this month, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. So the November 1st through the 15th promo is simply amazing. Number one, $1 enrollments for everyone. That is so huge here at Melaleuca. And you guys, Jeff and I, we started our account for $1. I know a lot of people that started their account for $1. Not that $19 is a whole lot to get started for your yearly membership fee, but $1 enrollments are huge. I would be taking advantage of those. Not to mention the Enroll To promo to get that Amazon Echo Dot. I know that that's a hot topic in my house with my children. And so whether you're enrolling to and earning the Echo Dot or enrolling for and getting the Echo Dot and the Amazon Echo, those are great things to have for yourself and to keep for yourself or give gifts. Christmas is coming up really soon. I'll tell you guys one thing, and the conversation that I'm having with people right now is you can enroll for $1. You can set up your shopping account. I'm going to show you how to shop smarter and shop safer here at Melaleuca to get better products into your home at the convenience of being delivered right to your doorstep. And I tell them too, you know, Christmas is coming up. I can show you how to enroll. 2 people earn the Echo Dot. 4 people, you're going to get the Echo Dot and the Amazon Echo. And you enroll 8 people and show them how to shop. I can show you how to at least make a $500 paycheck right before Christmas. And they're just setting up their shopping account for $1. So this is a great promotion that they have going on. Please make sure that you're taking advantage of it. I know I am, and I know a lot of the other people on this call are tonight. But just wanted to share that with you guys, to make sure that you're aware of what all Melaleuca has to offer. There's one thing I want to add in before I leave the promo, and that is make sure that these are quality enrollments. And what exactly does that mean? That means that your customer is coming here to Melaleuca, they are setting up their shopping account, and they are shopping for at least 35 points and activating their account. That is super duper important to make sure that that happens in order to earn these promotions and in order for them to get the promotion of the $1 membership fee as well. So make sure that that's happening and that they are quality enrollments. So I'm going to stop the share for just a second, and I'm going to introduce Mr. Clinton Keller. Like I said, tonight he is the star of the show. He is our enroller. And he enrolled Jeff and I back in February of 2017 as just customers. In March, we decided to build a business here at Melaleuca to be a marketing executive and refer others and show them how to shop too. And I'll tell you guys, Jeff and I, at the time, we were the fastest executive directors here at Melaleuca. So many people have came in and surpassed us, and we're so excited that they have, and that is such a blessing. But I want to share with you one of the things that I think was definitely a game changer for us was having him, you know, in our support system and what he did on a daily basis, how he showed us, went through the MORE report, gave us a game plan, showed us the comp plan. I didn't know what the comp plan, it was a complication plan at the time, but he's going to go through tonight and he's going to show you basically how he showed us step by step, how he reached out to us day by day and gave us that plan, and we knew exactly what was going on in our business, how to find things. And I am so excited to welcome to the front of the room Mr. Clinton Keller. The floor is yours, sir.
All right. Thank you. And thanks everybody for getting on. And obviously thanks everybody that's listening to the replay too, because we know that things, we have stuff going on in life. And on this team, you know how it is. It's always God family work. And so if you're catching the replay, good for you. Hopefully you're catching it within the next 12 to 48 hours, somewhere in there. But thanks for everyone for taking the time out and getting on tonight. And we're going to go over some good information tonight. I'm excited about this. I'm a numbers guy. I love strategies, writing things down, giving game plans, giving direction. It's one of my gift zones. I only have a few, and this is one of them. It's what I think is one of the most important things in everybody's business, because we all have places we want to go. I mean, if you want to get from point A to point B, whether you're traveling there or whether it's in business or whether it's in maybe a physical goal, working out, something like that. If you want to get from where you're at to where you're going, you have to have a roadmap. I mean, if you lived in Florida and you wanted to go to California and you had no idea how to get there because you'd never gone there before, are you just going to get in the car and go? I'm going to assume that the answer is no, because you would never, ever end up where you want to be. So you have to have a roadmap. You have to know exactly where you're going and how to get there. And I think that, if someone knows exactly what to do and what they're going to get when they do it, the odds of them doing it are so much greater, okay? The person that gets in and has no idea what they're doing or how to get there, they get confused, and a confused mind leads to inactivity. There's no action. If there's no action, it leads to frustration, and frustration leads to cancellation. So, guys, I'm telling you, this is going to be good. So if you have a piece of paper and a pencil, grab it. If you don't, I would highly recommend going and get it. We're going to have a special guest come on later too, and share a little bit about how this has helped her and her organization. But I'm going to do a little screen share as well, because I want to pull you right in, and I'm going to show you how to do this inside of your More report. So let me pull this in quick. And I'm actually going to be able to use a gal on our team, her back office, because she is newer and it's going to work perfect with what we're looking for. This is what your back office looks like, guys. Under reports and tools, under the More report, this is something that you want to go in and master. Okay, we always talk about treating your business like a business. And if you owned a physical business, whether it was a franchise like a Subway or a McDonald's, or if it's a gym or whatever it is, if it was a physical business, I'm guessing that you're going to be looking at the numbers every single day. Whether it's new numbers coming in, cancellations going out, all that type of stuff, you're going to be on it on a daily basis, guys. And I'm telling you right now, if you treat this business, Melaleuca, your Melaleuca business, if you treat it like a business, I promise you it will pay you better than any other business that you could possibly become a part of or invest in. I promise you, we have a lot of people that are living testaments of that on this team right here. But under the More report, before I go into some of these numbers and key numbers to look at, I want to just show you a few things here in the More report that you want to go through all of it, but some of the things that are really cool are this mentoring tab. Okay, when you click on this, it's going to pull up everybody in your organization that maybe you're running, or maybe you're working with, maybe you're mentoring, that type of thing. And how to get people in this report is you just simply go to your personal enrollees, and no matter who it is, you just click on their name, and at the bottom it's going to say add to the mentoring list. And you just click it, and then when you go to mentoring, they're going to show up on here. Now, these numbers will update on the 12th after the audit and our reports come out. All these numbers are going to update, but it gives you an amazing snapshot of exactly what that business is doing on a day-to-day basis from where you're at this month compared to last month. Again, this will update, so it'll say October to November. This day compared to this day last month. Your net growth, how many people, how many directors, what's going on in all these different categories. And these are key things, from even as things like leadership points, but total or enrollments for the day, enrollments from today, from last month, net growth, all that stuff. You can literally go to each person that you're working with and mentoring. You can get a snapshot of their business, because if you're running these people, we all listen to the Open of the Month call every single month. You're going to be working directly with some of these people that have these large goals, and you need to be in communication with them every single day, and you need to know what their business looks like. Okay, and we're going to get into that in a little bit later, but the first thing there is mentoring. Have the people that you're mentoring, have the people that you're working with, whether it's your personals or your personals, whoever it is, put them on your mentoring list. It doesn't just have to be your personals. You could go put anybody on there. Again, you just go to your personals, and if you want it to be a personal, say I want to go here, you just click on this guy. It's going to bring all those personals up. Maybe I want to go to, this person's personal. You click on that, it's going to bring theirs up, and then you can click on any one of their names, and you can add that name to your mentoring list. Any person down in depth, you can make it happen. So that's the mentoring. Another thing in here is this alerts. This is something, if you haven't looked in here, all these reports, the company does all of this stuff for you. Like, it's unbelievable that for right now, for $1, you have access to a multi-million-dollar technology in business where you don't have to do all the reporting. You don't have to do any of the taxing, any of the overhead, any of that stuff. You don't have to do any of that. All you got to do is go in here and look at it. The company does it all for you. One of these, I'm not going to go through all these, but one big one here has watched the foundations video. I would certainly check this out several times a month, especially the last week of the month. You simply just click on here. I like to click on there. It'll bring it up. I like to click and then do it by enroller. So then I can go to who the enroller is, and then you can see how many months that customer has been enrolled. And then if they've watched it, obviously if they have, it's going to say yes. If they haven't, it's going to say no. You have the month that you enroll and the month after to watch that foundations video, guys. And that's directly tied to your bonuses, okay? It gives you the opportunity to earn double bonuses. And if you know the comp plan, there's $13,800 of bonuses just in from director to senior director, okay? Think about how much money could be lost between your advancement bonuses, your mentoring bonuses. I mean, you could be losing tens of thousands of dollars because you just simply didn't watch a 25-minute video. And you want your people to watch it too, because if they don't watch it, you don't earn the pay set or double bonus on them when they advance. So simply just go do it by enroller, and you can go right through it and make sure that everybody's seen it. So that's just one of the reports. You can go in here and do anything from who's coming on packs, who's watched their Learn to Earn videos, inactive customers, backup orders. All that stuff is under alerts. And then here, just these snapshots. I like to touch base on the enrollments. I do it every single update, but a lot of people don't do this full time like myself and some of the other people. So maybe once a day, you certainly want to look at who's coming into your organization. And obviously it shows the person that came in, the date they came in, if they happen to come in on a pack, what category. Are they a category 3? That's someone that wants to earn substantial business. And then who enrolled them. Because this is important to know who came in, because if I'm looking at it, I want to know who's coming into my business, who brought them in. And specifically, if this is a category 3, I want to touch base with the enroller so I can ask them, hey, tell me about Mariah. I see she came in today. She came in as a category 3. She wants to make substantial income. Tell me about her. What's her story? How do you know her? What's her goals? And then I want to do a welcome call. It's a way to audit this system. Guys, this is your business. Don't ever rely on other people just getting it done. Don't ever put your future in someone else's hands. This is your business. Run it. You run it. You create the culture in your business. If you want welcome calls, if welcome calls are not happening in your organization, then start the culture right now. Get on the phone. Again, this isn't my account, but if this was, and this was one of my personals, and they brought someone in that was a category 3 or a category 2, I am texting this person right away saying, hey, congratulations on your enrollment. Tell me about Mariah. See, she's a category 3. Does she really want to make significant income? When you have 5 minutes, let's get on the phone and talk. Because they might be at work, whatever. I want to get on the phone. I want to hear about Mariah and her story. And then I say, hey, set up a 3-way phone call. I want to meet this person. Make it happen. That's what you can do with the enrollments. You see who comes in every single day, who the enroller is. It's a way to develop relationships. And guys, especially when you're starting out, a good policy to follow for yourself is treat every single person that comes into your organization like you enrolled them. You want to create something that lasts long term. Guys, depth lasts long term. Building relationships in depth in your organization is how you create something that's stable. Treat everyone that comes in as they're your personal, and you develop that relationship, and that way you have more control over it. It's unbelievable how some people, they'll enroll someone and then they don't know anyone in that organization. Guys, you should be talking to every single person, developing those relationships, because people come into this. A lot of people just love the social aspect of it. A lot of people just love being around the environment of positive people. They love, networking and getting to know other people, because a lot of times they go to work and they don't like who they're working with. They don't like where they're working at. But if they can come here and they can develop all these relationships of incredible people that actually care about them, guys, that's how you create something that's long term. So that's the enrollments. Suspensions. Who's canceling? On a daily basis. Was it an N means a non-payment, and R is a requested suspension. We need to call these people up, and always apologize to them. Hey, see, you canceled your account. I just wanted to touch base because I always want to try to provide the best customer service possible. Was it something we did? How could we have made this process better? We'd love to have you back, sooner than later as a customer. However you want to say or have that conversation, but find out why. Or if it's a non-payment, something happened with their card. Hey, I just want to call you up. Your name popped up on our suspension list as a non-payment suspension. I just want to make sure that, you're going to get the products you want. You're not expecting something at your doorstep that's not coming. A lot of times it's something that's in the card expired, the number got transposed. Sometimes it's in our system. I just wanted to touch base with you, see if I can't help you get this fixed or get this all figured out for you. It's just a simple, quick phone conversation with these suspensions. Then reactivations are amazing too, guys. If you're not clicking on this and seeing who's coming back in your business, you're missing the boat. I mean, if this person right here canceled and now they reactivated, how awesome is it for that person to get a phone call and say, hey, I saw you reactivated your shopping account. Man, welcome back. If there's anything I can ever do to make your shopping experience better, or if there's anything that I can make the experience more positive, here's the phone number to customer service. Here are you on our customer team page, whatever it is. If they're a pure customer, maybe they're a market executive. Welcome back. We're excited to have you come back. We appreciate your business. That goes a long way, because guess where they're not getting that? They're not getting that any other place that they do business. If they stopped shopping at Target and then they went back in, ain't nobody calling them up from Target thanking them for their business, welcoming them back. Guys, it goes a long ways. Customer service these days is so bad. If you can be great in that area, you are light years ahead of everybody else, and you will create something where people come back and back and back, and it will be long-term residual income to you and your family. So that's a few of the things there. Before I go into the actual browser, where we're going to start learning how to really dig into numbers and see where they're at and how to get this done, you have to really understand the comp plan. So I'm going to pull the comp plan at a glance up, guys. And I've done a video, a comp plan training. So if you have not seen the comp plan training, definitely get the comp plan training that I did from your support system. It goes through this in depth, like a 25-minute in-depth video on all this and what it means. But this thing right here is, you should have this printed off. I think the first time Rebecca Garrett came over for a month and closeout, she saw it sitting on my desk, and then I was going through it with her. She went home and printed off. I think she laminated, and she carries this thing wherever she goes. Like, you could not find her without her comp plan at a glance sheet. So print it off, laminate it, keep it wherever you go. And there's only a few things that you really need to understand here in order for this next training to really make sense. And that's numbers. We have in Melaleuca the average customer, the average product point order company-wide. Now we've been 33 years or whatever for the company, is 50 points. So when I talk about volume, I talk about stuff, I always use the company average of 50. So when we talk about structure, we're talking about your personal customers and your personal directors. So when you hear someone say, we need to get your structure, that is how many personal customers you have and how many personal directors you have, because that's all that matters. And then we fill everything else in with volume, and that's how you move through this comp plan. And every single advancement, and I'm just going to go from director to senior director, because that's really where we need to focus. Every advancement after director 2, you can see, is a 2,500 point jump. Every single one is exactly the same. So if you take 2,500 and you divide it by 50, the average product point per customer, it's about 50 new customers for every advancement. So if you want to go from director 3 to director 4, it's about 50 customers more. Director 4 to director 5, 50 customers. If you want to double advance from 5 to 7, it's about 100 customers. So when you print this off, write the customer count down alongside here. So director obviously is 8 customers. There is no volume requirement, nothing like that. It's just 8 customers, so you don't really need to put 8 unless you want to put 8 there. Director 2, you can see, is 1,000 points. That's what you need in your organization to be a director 2. Well, 1,000 divided by 50 is 20. So put 20 customers. It takes on average about 20 customers to have a director 2 business. Director 3 is 2,500. 2,500 divided by 50 is 50. So put 50 customers by director 3. And then, like I said, everything from there on goes up 50. So it's 100 customers for director 4, 150 for director 5, 200 for director 6, 250 for director 7, 300 for director 8, 350 for director 9, and 400 customers for senior director. That's going to cover your volume. Now, obviously, remember we talked about structure. You know, 20, the number 20, you hear us talk about 20-20 club, 20-20 club. How quickly can you get to 20 personal customers? Why do we say that? Because look at the comp plan. You don't ever need more than 20. And 20 caps out, it maximizes your commission on personal customers. Because after the first 3 months where you get 50%, it goes into a stair step after that, and 20 is the highest. If you have 20 or more customers, you get 20%. So go get 20 done, and you'll always have enough customers to reach every status. And then from there to move on, it's just how many personal directors. Director is 8 customers. How many people can you help go get 8 customers? And then you just look at that number. And those are the key numbers. So when I talk about key numbers to look at in the organizational browser, it's always going to be 20, 50, 150, 200, 300, 400. Those are the numbers we're always looking for because that correlates to that status. So that is some of the stuff that you need to understand as far as the comp plan. One other thing is organizational volume and PEG volume. The easiest way to figure this out is organizational volume is anything that falls within your matrix. Whether you enrolled it or someone else enrolled it, someone else put it in your organization, it does not matter if it falls inside of your organization, inside of your matrix, that's organizational volume. PEG volume, on the other hand, is all volume that falls underneath one of your personals. So if you have someone you personally brought in, all the volume that that person has in their business counts for your PEG volume. Now there's a caveat. You could have somebody say, I enrolled Danielle, and then Danielle enrolled somebody, and then I put someone in underneath Jeff and Danielle's personal. Even though it's not theirs, but I placed it under their personal, all the volume that that person does, if they went and put 10,000 volume in, that counts as 10,000 for PEG volume for Jeff and Danielle because it's volume under one of their personals. So that's the easiest way. PEG volume is all the volume under your personals. Organizational volume is just all pure volume. So where it wouldn't count is if I enrolled someone and put them on the front line of Jeff and Danielle. That would just be organizational volume. It would not be PEG volume for Jeff and Danielle because it's not volume under one of their personals. That's the biggest difference. So obviously when you see the qualifications, you have to have, you know, an X amount of org volume and at least a certain amount of PEG volume to get that. And that just, you know, prevents someone else from building your business. So you have to go out there, but it's enroll customers, help them get to director. That is literally as complicated as this comp plan gets. So with those numbers in mind, I'm going to go back and I'm going to dig in and I'm going to show you how I do this at the beginning of every single month with every single person that I'm working with. So they know exactly where they're at, exactly how to get to where they're going, and it's for them and for their team. Because if you look at the comp plan, we get paid when we advance, we get paid when we help our personals advance, and we get paid when we help our personals advance. So you have to know all of that. You're responsible for all of that in your business. So this is the organizational browser. A few things that you need to know about this, and this I look at this all the time. Okay, this bottom right number, you can see it in every square. That number right there represents total active preferred customers. So when that says 290, if you remember when I was talking about significant numbers, obviously 290 falls in between 250 and 300. 300 is Director 8. So the average Director 8 organization has 300 customers. So I already know that the TK is really close to Director 8 because she has 290 customers. We only need to get to 10 more to be a Director 8 organization. So that's a key thing right there. That's the number I'm looking at all the time. But when I'm going to set a plan for somebody, first of all, you get on the phone, you talk to them, you want to know what are your goals. Is this the month? Do you want to put the time in? Do you want to put the effort in? We already listened to them open the month call. Like I said, you find out who wants to run. And I go look at all these numbers prior to, and I write them all down. I write down exactly where they're at and what they have. So right now there's 290 customers. You can take it times 50 if you want to figure out your volume is probably right around here. And then this little guy right here, it says view personals. That's a key button you're going to be pushing all the time, because if I click that, that's going to take me to TK's personals. And then I always double click and sort it for whoever enrolled the most to the least, so I can see who's doing what in that person's organization, because part of the structure is not only personals, but how many personal directors. So if we want to be a director 8, we obviously need 4 personal directors. So how close is she to having the structure? Well, you can see right there, 13, 9, 9, 8, 8. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 personal directors, or at least that it looks like 5 personal directors right there. So the structure is great. You can see how many personals she actually has herself, well over 20. She has the 5 directors, so we're sitting really good for structure. So I write down where she's at. Here's your preferred customer count. Here's what your volume probably is. Obviously on the 12th, we'll know exactly what it was. And then here's your number of personal directors, and here's your number of personal customers that you have, and here's where we need to be if you have a goal of X. We need this many preferred customers, this volume, this many personal directors. So we have what we need, and then we go in and look, how can we get this done? And this is where you can't let numbers intimidate you. So 290, that's an incredible organization. Say she has a goal of going to Senior Director 2. Okay, so Senior Director 2 is going to be about 450 customers. Well, from the outside looking in, you're like, man, 290 to 450, that's a lot of customers that I need. I mean, that is a lot of 160 customers or whatever that I need to add. That seems like way too many, but you have to break it down. And this is where, as you start breaking your organization down, you'll start seeing, not only could we probably get Senior 2 done, we could probably have a stretch goal of Senior 4. And you always want to bury yourself in other people's success. So when I'm starting to look at her organization, I'm going to start right on the top line. I'm going to go, okay, what numbers stick out to me? And I'm writing all this stuff down before my conversation with her. See, I start right here. There's 86 right there. The next significant number that's close to is 100. Remember, 100 is Director 4. So that person's only 14 customers away for Director 4. That should be a done deal minimum goal. Director 4. Probably the goal is going to be Director 5, 150 customers. And maybe a stretch goal of Director 6, 200 customers. So I write Kizzy down. Maybe I'll just go with the goal of 150. Okay, we're going to go Director 5. So 150, you're looking at, that's a net growth of 64 customers that you would need. Then I go over here, 85. Again, almost the same thing. The next closest significant number is 100. So 15 customers away from 100, that's a done deal lowest goal. Let's go to 150, Director 5. Coming over here, 80, same thing. Closest significant number is 100. That's a done deal. Low goal, 150, that's the goal. So as you start to add these up, just between these 3, this one going to 150, this one going to 150, and that one going to 150, that's almost a net growth of 200 customers, okay? If that's all we worked with were those 3, that would already give her the volume for Senior Director 2. Because remember, she was about 199, 200 people short. So it's going to be really, really close. Or if she was 160, this would be about 200. So we're already there for the volume. That doesn't even count over here, 17. The next significant number is 20, because 20 is Director 2. But probably more looking at, let's get to 50. Let's get to Director 3, because that's a great goal. Here's 4. That goal might be 20. 15, definitely 20, maybe 50. 4, 20. So when you start adding up all the small goals, it makes TK's goal actually look very, very achievable. In fact, it looks like we undershot it. So we start figuring out a path to the end goal. And then you start breaking it down where, okay, if we're going to have Kizzy at 86 and we need to be director 4, or no, we're going to go to director 5, 150. Well, what's the structure for director 5? We need at least 2 personal directors. So not only do we need 150 customers, we need to have 2 personal directors. So that's where I'm going to click this button right here. I need to click, does she have people in her business working? Go here, sort it. Well, boom, she's got 1 for sure. That's going to be a director done deal. She's got another one that's starting. So I see the path right here. So when I'm writing my notes down, I got Kizzy, director 5. Here's how many customers we need in growth. Here's the structure. Here's what we have. We certainly need to have a phone conversation with, Shayna, because that looks like our next director. We have to have 2 directors to get to director 5. So now you know exactly who you're calling, who you're talking to, and the goal. Now, obviously, you can't set these people goal for them, but it's, hey, you've got 2. Would you like my help to get to 8? Would you like my help to get to director? If you become a director, it's probably going to be about a $400 paycheck to you. You have to attach the income to their advancements, because when people hear, if I do X and I get Y, they attach that income to the effort they're going to put in. They're going to be way more apt to go, oh, absolutely, because I know I can do so many things with an extra $2,000 or whatever it is. So that's how you start looking at it. So we're inside this organization. How are we going to get to 150? At the top, right off the top, it's like, man, that seems like a lot. That's a big growth. Well, you do the exact same thing here. This person's at 2, so maybe we have a goal of getting to director there. This person's at 75. The next significant number is 100. That's 25 customers right there. This one, maybe 8. This one, maybe 10. This one, maybe 8. Maybe up to 20 for director 2. But if you start adding up 8, 8, 8, 25, and 8, you're going to find it very easy to find, the 50, 64 customers that you need to get to 150 to get to that director 5, especially as you start clicking through here. Because here, again, when you start looking at the significant number of 100, that's attached to director 4. Well, director 4 requires what? 2 personal directors. So again, you click into that organization, you click on the personals. Does Terry have 2 people that are close? Wow, there's already 2 of them there. So director 4 for her, the structure is already done. She has enough personal customers, and she has the structure already. Now, we obviously want to get that number to 20. And then at this point, we're like, okay, this person has 10. How about we try to get Tanisha to director 2? Okay, she has the structure for director 2 at 10, but how many customers does she have in her organization? 38. She already has more than 20. So she's getting close to 50. So now you're really starting to write this one down, where Terry maybe has an opportunity to go all the way to director 3, because the structures there, or director 4 maybe to director 5, his structure's there, personals are there, and the volume's almost there. Well, when you start looking at 38 people possibly going to director 4 to 100, because the structure's there and a lot of the volume's there, well, if we got just this person right there, that's 62 customers. That's already almost everything that she needs to hit her goal. So again, you start breaking it down, and we only went under 1 person's organization. Then you go to the next one, and it's 85. Again, it was 150 was the goal. That's director 5. We need 2 personal directors. We check out the structure. Is the structure there? Well, one of them's done. Not anyone else has any enrollment. So that's where you have the conversation with Shanta going, okay, Nikki's obviously a rock star. Who else do you see that wants to build this? Who clicked a category 3? Here's a category 3. There's a category 3. There's a category 3. Who do you think would want our help to go out and reach director, maybe make $400? You have to identify that second person. And if you do, well, that's automatically 8 customers you're going to add to your total, because they're all at 0. If you get them to director, that's at least 8 new ones. And here again, you have a significant number of 10, so the structure for director 2 is done. So you might want to look at the volume for Nikki. She's got 35. So she's got the structure and the volume for director 2. So then it's at that point, you're like, man, maybe we can stretch that to director 3. You'd have to get to about 50 customers. You have to have 1 director, and you would need, a couple more personals. But you can start to see, as you break this down and you start going into each person's organization, you are going to find so much volume. And all it is, guys, it's a lot of people doing a little bit, achieving small little goals. It is literally helping people get to director, director 2, and director 3. That is almost all it is, because if you help enough people get to director and director 2 and director 3, you're going to have so many director 5s, director 6s, senior directors. It all flows up. And all you want to do is you want to help your personals advance, your personals advance. And as that's happening, you're obviously advancing if you keep your structure right, and your checks are going to be through the roof, because that's where the bonuses are. And you advancing, your personals advancing, and your personals advancing. And if you can get every single person in your organization to always get a bonus in their paycheck's never going to be a disappointment, because they always have that extra bonus from whether it's them advancing, one of their personals advancing, or one of their personals advancing. So you just continue to go through and you break each one down. And after you have it broken down, then you have this in-depth conversation with the person that you're running. So if I was running TK, I already have all this stuff written down, and I'm on a Zoom with her. Now I'm going through it with her. Okay, tell me about this person. Tell me about this. This is what I see here. Here's the goals I see. Here's the goals I see. Have you talked to any of them about their goals? Is it their month? Do they want to get that done? Do they realize if they go from director, like here, director to director 5, do they realize that that's a $8,000 paycheck? Attach the money to it, because then what's going to happen after you have a conversation with the person you're running, then you're going to have a 3-way phone conversation with every single one of them. And then what's going to happen is they're going to then break down their business. They're going to have a 3-way phone conversation with each of their people. And that's how you start creating the culture, because, guys, you have to know exactly what you're doing and how to get there. And I'm telling you, when people know exactly how many customers they need to enroll and how many people they need to get to director, and they've got those directors identified, this thing, it is a well-oiled machine, because you all know what we offer. Because we can put a ton of people in this thing, because it's a value to every single person. So that is that's how you use your organizational browser to start really digging in. And what you do is you take this information, you write it on a piece of paper, and then that's when you put that information up on a whiteboard. Okay, and that's where I'm going to take this to the next level. This is a little bit more in-depth of a team coaching call, and that's why I said get some notes. We got it recorded, but guys, this is the secret sauce. And you're going to hear someone come on here and tell you that this was it. This is how it all happened. This was the magic. You already heard Jeff and Danielle say it, because here's what I did every day. Not every other day. It was every day, and sometimes multiple times a day. I would have their information. I take it off of the Moore report. I put it on my whiteboard, and I'm updating it. I take a picture of it. I text it to Jeff and Danielle, and then I get on the phone with them and say, hey, here's where we're at. Here's the numbers. Here's what we need to get done. Here's how close this person is. Here's how close this person is. Let's go talk to that person. Let them know they're only 5 customers away from their next advancement, which is $1,000. Let them know that they have someone that's 2 people away from director, which is a $500 guaranteed check at that point. You have to start having all these conversations, you guys. That's where the magic happens. But you have to take this information. You have to know these numbers. What do these numbers represent? What's the next closest number? How far do they want to go? And then you take it from there. And I'm going to show you a real life. Let's see if I can't do this without messing something totally up here. I took a picture. See if this pops up. There it is. Danielle, can you see that? Or someone throw it in the chat box. Can you see that? I've got all sorts of stuff going on here. Hopefully you can see. Hopefully you can see this illustration that is on my screen. So this is a picture of Aaron Clark's business right here. This was taken back in. I think this was taken off of my whiteboard in August, like the second or third month that Aaron was in. So I took that information, put on the whiteboard, and then I take a picture of it. So this was in my phone. This was a picture that I actually took and texted to Aaron, and then had a conversation with her saying, here's where we're at. So if you look at this, if you're serious about running somebody, this is what you do. You put the person you're running, you put them up on your whiteboard, and then you have the significant numbers there. So anything that says equals, that's their personal customer count. And then you're going to see a small number in the top left. You can see that number right there on every single one of these people. That's their total customer count, total preferred active customers in their organization. So I need to know, if I'm helping Erin, I need to know her personals, which are all in red. You can see they're labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I need to know her personals, which are in blue. So Kimberly, one of her personals, here's Kimberly's personals are in blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then finally, I need to know their personals. So Erin needs this, are personals, because how do you help someone make income? Well, I have to help her advance. I have to help her personals advance. Well, her personals advance by her personals advancing. And then your expanded mentoring is your personals. And the only way you help your personal advance is by knowing the personals. So it's always going to be 3 levels in depth on your whiteboard. Who you're running, their personals, and the personals. And you write this down so you can get a snapshot. When I look at this right here, and now you can start testing yourself. When you start looking at this, what are some significant numbers that you see right away? Maybe Erin's goal at this point, I don't know, this was way back in August, maybe her goal is executive director, which you need 1,000 customers for executive director. So she's at 598. So we're looking at, we need to add 400 customers to this organization. Obviously her personal customer count's there. She got 75. Well, if she wants to be an executive director, how many personal directors is that? You have to have 10 personal directors for an executive director. Well, she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So she's got 8. Her 9th one is at 6 personals, and there isn't a 10th one on the board, so it must have been less than 6. So for her to get her structure, I'm having a conversation with Erin's. Not only do we need to add 400 customers, we need to identify, one more person and then at least get Vanessa to 8. Because we have to have 10 personal directors for you to get this done, first of all. So when you look at everything's the same. The personal, when it says equals this number, that's their personal customers. So Kimberly has 36, Abby has 29, Krista has 20, Sadie had 15, Katrina had 13, all the same. And then that number to the upper left of them is how many organizational customers they have. And that's the same thing for their personals. Sean had 13 personals, 89 in her organization. Stacy had 12 personals, 37 in her organization. So on and so forth. So you can see how it's color-coded. So if we're trying to figure out Kimberly's goal, she's at 257. Maybe her goal was senior director, 400 customers. Obviously, the next closest significant number is 300, and then it goes to 350, which is director 9, 400 is senior. Well, if we want to add about 150 customers to get to senior, where are they coming from? Well, if she wants to be a senior, she has to have at least 20 personals. That's done. She's got 36. And she has to have 5 personal directors for senior director. Well, she's got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to at least help Lisa get to 8 customers so the structure's done. So I instantly know that Kimberly, I'm going to have this conversation saying we need to at least get 1 more director done so your structure's done. Then we figure the volume out. And then it's who could we help? Well, Shauna's at 89. Maybe we can get her 100 is the next significant number, probably 150. We're going to director 5 out of this thing. So we're going to put about 60 customers in here. Well, how many customers? She has 13 personals. We need to get that to 20, okay? So she needs to at least add 7 more personals. And if she's going to have 150, we need at least 2 personal directors. So what does she have? She's got 1 right there that's got 10, so 1 director's done, and the other one's at 3. So we know instantly we need to have a conversation with Bridget and see if she wants to get to 8. And that's going to be a conversation between Kimberly, Shauna, and Bridget. That's going to be the support system. So it always kind of goes 3 in depth there. So you can get a snapshot of, we need 1 more director here. Working at Stacy, 37. Well, 50 is the next significant number. That's director 3. But director 3 requires 1 personal director. Does she have it? No, she's got 1 person that's got 1. So we need to help Monica get 7 more customers. She's got 12 personals, which is enough for director 3. Obviously, the goal for everybody in my mind would be 20. But 12 would get director 3 done. So she has enough personals. We just need to help her get a director. Go to Catherine, 69. The next significant number is 100. We need to add 31 customers. 100 is director 4, which requires 2 personal directors. Well, she's got 1 of them done right there. There's 8 customers for Sarah. But she's got 2 more that are under 8. So we need to, between Heather and Amber, between those 2, we have to at least help 1 of them get to 8. Okay? So this is what I'm telling you is when you can look at this on a daily basis, and everybody knows exactly what they're doing, because all of a sudden, if you start from the bottom and we help Heather get to 8, and we help Amber get to 8, maybe we help Sarah get to 10 and try to get to director 2, all of a sudden this Kathy's already to then 150, maybe she's a director 5. And you start adding 20 to 50 customers here, 10 to 20 customers here, 60 customers here, all of a sudden this 250 goes to 400 really quick. And then you go over here, you do the same thing. What's Abby's goal? She's at 200. The next significant number is 250. Maybe the stretch goal of 300. So we need to find 100 customers in our organization. 300 customers is director 8. That's 4 personal directors. She's got 1 done, and that's it. So we need to help this person get to 8, that person get to 8, one of those 2 get to 8. It gives you a crystal clear vision of who needs to do what, who's talking to who. And when you do this on a daily basis, guys, I am telling you, it is magic. Because when you have the accountability of someone talking to you every single day, letting you know where you're at, your mind's always on your business. If your mind's always on your business, there's always going to be activity in your business. If there's an activity in your business, there's always going to be production in your business. And when there's production, there's excitement, and it is an upward spiral that gets out of control, and it's called momentum. But you have to know where you're going. So that's a real life shot of well over a year ago of what was going on and how we did it. And Erin's actually the one that I want to bring on here. Let's see if she's made it to the call. Let me promote her as a panelist here. Okay. Erin Clark, I see you there. You were muted. I know you. I don't know if you have anyone on your team that's going to hop on as well. Just let me know, and I can certainly put them to panelists, or if you're just going to walk through it. But I know, way back when you first started, which seems like forever ago, but it seems like I've known you my whole life, but it's literally only been a little over a year ago. And I don't know if you can tell the story. You can let them know kind of how you implemented this into your team. But I'm assuming you remember text messages coming from me. Probably that same one is in your phone somewhere. But
I'm sure it is.
So let people know how did this work for you? How did you implement it, and what were the results of it?
Well, so first off, I think it's important to note that when you start somebody, this is a mistake that a lot of us make, is that we assume that we're going to show somebody one time how to make $1,000 or one time how to make 2,500, and then they're going to remember it and they're going to go implement it. So me personally, I knew that when Clinton told me, okay, go enroll 11 customers, and if Abby gets to 10, if you guys get to 2,500 in volume, you're there. I remembered that, but I've been doing this for 6 years. So 9 out of 10 of the people that enroll with you are not going to remember those things. They're going to watch an overview, and they're going to forget 95% of what they just heard, much less be able to run their business. And so what Clinton does is he manages it for you until you get running, right? It's your responsibility to start running as soon as you possibly can. I'll just put that in there because he will literally run himself to death running people's businesses for them and totally working behind the scenes for them. I've never worked with a leader like Clinton. This whiteboard concept was a game changer for me. It has truly, I've made $1.2 million in 15 months. And I swear it started with these whiteboards, and it started with tracking. When I joined Melaleuca, I was working on a house. We had just bought a house. I didn't have any internet. I didn't have any freaking cell phone service. Like, if I was on the phone, I had to be outside. Like, I was a hot mess, but we were going really, really fast. And so if I wouldn't have had Clinton helping me dig through my back office and monitor people, there's no way we would have hit what we did, because again, we would have just forgotten the path. We would have just been enrolling people, and we would have missed those few last closers. Just like he said, when people are confused, they don't know where to go, right? Confusion causes inactivity. And so I have whiteboard after whiteboard after whiteboard. And so what Clinton would do I know he did it all month, but I got a lot of these voice texts and a lot of pictures of the whiteboard towards the end of the month. We kind of kicked off the month. We kind of set our goals. I don't even ever know what the heck to set a goal for. So I just run like my pants are on fire until about the 15th. And then I kind of see what the month's looking like. And you don't need a Clinton, but you can totally duplicate this. It's not hard, right? So what he does is he goes down and he gets all your personals. So he sorts it by the highest personal enrollments. I still do that today. So you go to your more report, you go to your personal enrollees, filter it by top to bottom. Okay. So the people who are running get the most of my attention. I work with my 20%ers all the time. I give the people that are walking love, and I love them, right? And I will give them as much as they need, but the people that need the most are the 20%ers. They're the ones that are running with you. Those are the ones that get the phone calls from me, right? So I get all those people on my whiteboard and I start setting those goals. And what the only way they're going to get to their goals is by going down another level, which is they're personally enrolled. And I go through and I check out and to see, just like he was saying, how many has, we looked at Kim's board. Kim had Shauna. Kim had, I think, Lisa. Kim had Katie. What's crazy, and this is a side note, but a year later, and a lot of those people are not on that board anymore. So the team that's with you today might not be the team that's with you a year from now. You hope they will be. But again, you can't push a rope, right? You can't. So the whiteboard is meant to track activity. This is an activity-based company. You get paid based on working, and numbers don't lie. They just don't. So anyway, so middle of the month, he would text me. Usually it was like a 6-minute voice message because we were really busy and moving really fast. So the poor guy was like literally listing out everything that we were doing and everybody who was hitting what, and not only where they were at, but maybe what their reasonable goal would be, what their stretch goal would be, and then what they would make if they accomplished this, right? So if you're just having strategy sessions with your team, if you're just talking with them on how to sign customers or how to work on stuff, and you're not giving them a true goal and then matching that goal to what they're going to get by hitting it, right? Some people might say, oh yeah, great, I get to go to director 3, but they still might not know what that means. So what you're going to do as a leader is you're going to say, okay, you're at 8 enrollments. You've got to get to 11. And little Susie that's at 4, she's got to get to 8. If you get to 11 and Susie gets to 8, you've got 40 customers in your organization. You're easily going to get over that 50 mark, right? If our point average is high enough, we're going to guesstimate that you're going to go director 3. That comes with $1,000 bonus for you. And if Susie gets to 8, it's 200 plus commission for her. But listen to this. If she gets to 10 and you push her a little bit, right? So 8 is the reasonable goal. 10 is the stretch goal. You stretch her out a little bit. That gets her a $400 bonus and a 200 plus her commission, plus you get an extra 400. And that's why it grows. Because as a leader, you're not just teaching people how to do their job. You're stretching them, you're pushing them, and you're giving them what happens at the finish line. When you run a marathon and you get to the finish line, you get a beer or you get an apple juice or you get a Gatorade or whatever, whatever motivates the people, right? For my team, they just want to win, right? And they want to sometimes they want to beat each other. But for the most part, they want to get to that next level and they want to go as fast as they possibly can. So if we're not mapping it out for our people, it's very ineffective. It wasn't natural for me to do that, right? I work by myself. I totally take it and I go do my own thing. And so I expect everybody to do that, but they don't. They need you to work with them. And hand-holding, I don't call it hand-holding, I call it guiding. But people need that. You think that they're going to go and be totally independent, and they can be, but you got to give them the road map, right? You can't give them just, you're going to fly to Kansas City. You got to give them a flight pattern too, right? So towards the end of the month, he would give me those numbers. We would map it out. And, the system updates every 4 hours. So if you're in Central Standard Time, those last 5 days of the month, you can get pretty hardcore about it. 8 a.m., noon, 4 p.m., 8 p.m. Those are all Central Standard Time. Every time that system updates, I'm in there. Personal enrollees. Where's my organizational count? How many suspensions have we had? If you really want to work a business as a business, you got to monitor it. You can't just wing it. There's no winging it in Melaleuca if you want to make 5-figure checks. And if you want to make $500, that's okay, because you should have somebody that's helping guide you through that, or take it upon yourself after this training and do it for yourself. And you can literally, just like, this is another thing that Clinton's whiteboards have really helped me with, is if I have somebody that doesn't have a Susie that's at 4, let's say I signed Ashley, and Ashley has like 7 people who have all enrolled 2. But we got to figure out who's going to be her director, right? Who's going to be the person that wants to make that $400 or $500, that wants to go to the next level. Go look at those category 2s and 3s. help Susie or help Ashley reach out to everybody that said they want to make extra income. Help her do that and show your people how they can have their conversations with those people. Probably half of them didn't get a strategy session. Probably half of them don't have a roadmap. Probably half of them signed up a month ago wanting to make money, and then they never got a real game plan, and they don't really know what they're doing. And so they've just backed out of fear. So you've got another person that thought they were going to make money in an opportunity. They got confused. Nobody paid attention to them. They never did sign anybody. And so now you've got yet another person with a bad taste in your mouth. Or you go give them a game plan. You tell them what the end goal is, what the finish line says, and what they get at the finish line. And all of a sudden you've got a senior director, right? All of a sudden you've got a director 3 because she's like, I own this. I've got this, What else do I track? The only other thing that I really like to track, I really get nervous when people put goals out there. Let's say they've got a total of 11 enrollments and they've got one person that's at 4 and their organization is at 30 customers and they say, I'm going to go director 8 this month. Okay, so we know that director 8's 300 customers. We know that it's 4 directors, or I think it's 4. And I don't know how many enrollments, but what I know is that that's a very unrealistic goal, right? Unless you literally have been hiding under a rock and you are getting ready to just go blow it out of the water. And I'm going to say, okay, show me what you got. Sure. I'm not going to doubt anybody. But what I also do when somebody says something like that, I take the total number that's left, right? So if director 8 is 300 customers, not customers, and your friend Ashley has 30 in her organization, she says she wants to go director 8. I take the 300 minus 30, that's 270, and I take that divided by how many days are left in the month. If there's 30 days left, we've got 9 a day. And then I have a conversation with her. Ashley, do you think your team can come up with 9 customers today? Do you think that's doable? Do you think that's reasonable? Can you come up with 3 of those? Who's going to come up? Who's going to fill the gaps? And a lot of the times, maybe that's not all that realistic, but maybe 3 a day is, right? And so that kind of sounds like it's a negative thing, but the reason that I break it down per day is because other people, so you've got Ashley that sets crazy unrealistic goals and then she sets herself up for disappointment. But you have Susie who says, I'm at 9 enrollments. My goal is director 2. I've got 18 in my org. I'm at 9 enrollments. I just got to sign 1 customer. My goal is director 2. Woo, it's going to be a busy month. Okay. And then I'm like, okay, girl. Okay, boo. Like, you got 1 enrollment in the month. Do you really think that you can only enroll 1 customer in a month? What if we pushed you to the 2020 club, right? If you're at 9 and you're going for 20, you got 11 left. 30 divided by 11 is like what? 1 every 3 days? That's nothing, right? We take the 4-2-1 ratio and let's say you're gonna contact 4 people. You're gonna get 2 of them on an overview and 1 of them is gonna sign up, and you're gonna sign 11 a month. 11 times 4 is 44. Right? That's 44 people that you have to talk to in a month. That's just barely over 1 a day. So there's all sorts of ways that taking these numbers, Clinton using these whiteboards, and I'm probably going too far there, and I have to go do an overview, but taking those numbers and just being able to break them down for people, it allows you to help make goals and set realistic goals and stretch goals and push people and give them the roadmap. And that's what you do. And then you teach them how to do that. All my girls at least know how to map people out. Not every single one of them do it, I would say. They should, right? But at least we give them the tools, because what you don't want to do is not give your people the tools and then a year later you're still doing all the mapping, right? We want to create layered leadership. So I think Clinton's whiteboard is the most basic yet efficient system you can ever possibly use in this business. You can get all kinds of complicated with how you run your business, but the numbers are always going to be the same. Director's 8. Director 2 is 10 with 1,000. Director 3 is 11 and 8 with 2,500. You get to director 3. If you are a director 3 right now, all you got to do is do what you've done before a couple more times, and you're a senior director. If you're a senior director, you do it a couple more times, and you're executive. If you're an executive director, you teach some of your friends to do what you've done, and you're national, and then et cetera, and et cetera, and et cetera. It just builds. I mean, it's kind of boring. If you think about it, like, we're going to be doing the same stuff for the next 30 years. Like, yay. So maybe I get different colored, like I get pink and purple and yellow and blue, and I draw little flowers on my whiteboard because that makes me happy at the beginning of a month, Clinton. So if you're a girl and you want to like frou-frou your whiteboard, that's what you do. So you saved me, Clinton. I mean, you made my whole business. You truly saved my butt, and not only launched me, but you taught me how to do what you do. And I'll never stop thanking you. So I mean it.
We can't thank you enough for the leadership you bring to this team and the inspiration. And it's just a complete blessing to have someone like you on this team. And you add so much value to not only his team, but everybody in their life. It's incredible. So you're definitely family to us. And I remember everything from the first Zoom to the whiteboards to you doing Zooms in a trailer. And I mean, it was crazy.
Oh, real.
So it's a testament to how fast someone's life can change and literally change drastically. And everybody's got the same opportunity. And it's what I love about, Melaleuca. And, like you said, it's simple, but that daily accountability, guys, is, and I appreciate you sharing. I know you got to get to Zoom, so if you want to hop off, you can certainly hop off. Everybody appreciates that and everything you brought to the Zoom. So thank you again. But guys, it's the daily accountability, because people, they overestimate what they can get done in a day, and they underestimate what they can get done in a month. And it's that daily accountability, breaking it down to 2 a day, 3 a day, 4 a day, because then you're going to go put the work in to get that done. And if you get behind by 1, then you just put a little bit extra work the next day, maybe make a couple extra calls, and you get right back on track. But if you don't track it daily, all of a sudden you're 4 or 5 days in, and you look at your numbers, you're like, oh my God, I'm 12 behind. Well, now you've put yourself in such a hole that you could never, ever dig out of it. So it's the daily accountability. And like she said, at some points, it gets to an update account. Like every 4 hours it updates, I'm sending something new, especially towards the end of the month, guys. And, it's incredible what a group of people can do. And it's the whole concept of a lot of people doing a little bit. And, you don't have to, you teach this one time, or you look at an organization, and you might look at my organization or Jefferson's organization, some of these big leaders and executives and nationals and corporates, their organization, like, how can you possibly have 75 people coming in one day? And how can you possibly manage that? And how do you know people aren't falling through the cracks? Well, I only had to do the whiteboard training one time for Jeff and Danielle, one time for Jefferson, one time for Major and Aaron. And then they take it and then they go do it. But you better do it right, because people will do 100% of what you do wrong and 50% of what you do right. So you better ensure when you are launching someone that you are so detailed on what you're teaching and training them and the culture you're developing, because that's the culture that's going to get duplicated. And that's why today I don't have to do any type of whiteboard for any of these people, because they do it. And now their teams are doing it. Their teams and teams are doing it. It's crazy. But guys, I'm telling you, don't let the numbers intimidate you. And I learned a lot of this actually from Jefferson. And obviously we enrolled Jefferson, but you can learn a lot from everybody. Whether it's your mentors, the people in your support system, people you bring in, you're going to learn from everybody. But guys, when I first started, I saw the incentives, and I saw the power of the incentives. And something coming to someone's doorstep every single month, because when you get that doorbell rings, there's a package, and that's the incentive that you earned probably 2 months ago, because that's about how long it takes, is that you instantly have excitement. You instantly have something to post about. You instantly have something to talk about, and it re-energizes you. You might have had a bad day, or your business may have had a couple of bad days. You get the incentive in the mail, boom, you're done. You just go qualify for the new incentive. Now you're recognized. Now you're feeling recognized. The incentive part of this is everything. You qualify for the incentives, and your team does. And I'm going to give you some numbers. I'm not going to go through the exact details, because I've done it a million times. But if all you did, say you start with 10 people, and all you did was you and those 10, you helped your people qualify for the Enroll 2, not even the Enroll 4, the Enroll 2. And they had an Enroll 2 promo twice a month, from the 1st to the 15th, 16th to the end of the month. 1st to the 15th, 16th to the end of the month. In 5 months, you would have an executive director for organization. That's the power of numbers, the compounding effect of numbers. A whole bunch of people doing a little bit, from the 10 people going and getting 2. Now you have 20 plus the 10, so you have 30. The back half of the month, all 30 go get 2. That's 60 new people plus the 30. Now you have 90 total after that first month. Well, then 90 people getting 2 is 180. 180 plus 90 is 270. Now the back half of that month, 270 goes and gets 2. That's 540 plus the 270. Now you're getting into the almost 700s. And now one more half a month and you're already over executive director. And that's only everyone enrolling 2 customers. 2. What we offer, $1 to open an account, to have access to superior products at superior prices that are safer for you and the family, guys, that save people time and money. Every soul on earth that you know is going to benefit from this. So enrolling 2 people in the first half of the month and enrolling 2 people in the back half of the month, I'm telling you, can be done not only by you, but every single soul that you know. So guys, don't let the numbers intimidate you. You can start having an organization, even if it feels like nothing is happening right now. You can start and draw a line right now. Implement this, guys. The best thing I can tell you is when you're going to run somebody, if you're already got an organization, you just, if I'm running Erin, who is on there, and her name's in that circle, all you do is you erase her name and you put your name in there. That's how I always know I'm giving the best advice to my team, because I'm always taking it from, if this was my business, what am I doing? And here's what I would do. And all I can do is guide people, give people advice. They have to take action. Now, I want to take action with them. I want to be on calls with them. I want to be on overviews with them. But you cannot push people to where they don't want to go. You can't push a rope, like Erin says. You know, I want to motivate people. I want to inspire people to go out and take action, because here's what I know. Any goal you have, it can be achieved here, guys. I'm telling you, November and December have 2 months left in 2018. And where everyone else out in the world and every other business out in the world, I had a conversation with Danielle this morning about this, while everyone else is going to be having a business that's going backwards and struggling to get people to do anything because they don't want to spend money they don't have. And, you know, maybe it's a nutrition company and they don't care because Thanksgiving and Christmas is coming up. And while everybody else in the world is like, I'm just going to wait till January, guys, we have a business where you can actually grow in November and December, because when people join you, not only starting a business, but they're going to save money in November and December, because we have what's called a marketplace with 670 stores. So people are going to be shopping. It's Christmas time. There's Black Friday. There's Cyber Monday. People are going to be doing this. If they become a Melaleuca customer or a Melaleuca market executive, they're going to get paid back on every single gift that they go purchase through the marketplace. So not only are they getting better products and saving time and money there, they're also going to be getting free loyalty shopping dollars from all the gifts that they're getting for people. Then they can go shop for other things for free when they go put their monthly order in. Guys, I'm telling you, we have a business that should flourish in November and December. And I'm telling you, it takes 60 to 90 days to create momentum. And when you come into 2019 in January, what this company is doing behind the scenes, the things that they're getting ready to launch in January at the launch event, and the things that they're going to be working on and launching next year, guys, take November, take December, create this momentum. Go into January with an army of people. You don't want the 60 to 90 day, momentum to start January and hit momentum in February. Start it now. It takes 60 to 90 days to create that. And if you go into January with an army of people, I'm telling you right now, 2019 is the year of prosperity on Team Exalt. 2019 is when you check every single thing off of your list, every single goal, every single dream off of your list and off of your team's list. Guys, you're going to see people's lives change in 2019, but it starts right now. Guys, I'm telling you, you can do it. You have it in you. With this team and this system, all you have to do is go share this. Just share it with your heart, guys. And I'm telling you, 2019 is going to be the year of prosperity, guys. It does not matter how long it takes you to get done. All that matters is that you get it done, and you can create something here that's going to last a lifetime, and you can change your life drastically, because we have people that have done it over and over and over again right here in Team Exalt. And you can have 100% faith that what you're creating here is long-term for your family, for your family's family, for everything going forward. All you got to figure out is it worth it? Is it worth it to you? Okay? All you got to have is the pain of staying the same has to become greater than the fear of change. And when that happens, and you make a commitment, which means cutting off all ties, there's no backup plan. It's burning the boats. As Tony Robbins would say, when you make that decision, and you go all in and you attach yourself to your mentor and your sponsor, you put game plans like this in and you go share this, and it's a daily, consistent activity, guys. You're going to have a November to remember, you're going to have a December to remember, and you're going to have a 2019 that is going to drastically change the direction of your life, guys. I love every single one of you. I hope you got something from tonight's Zoom. We'll record it. We'll put it out there because I appreciate every single one of you. All the leaders on this team appreciate every single one of you. All we want to do is see you win, and we won't stop at nothing to make sure that that happens. Love you guys. Hope you have a fantastic night. We'll talk to you soon.